Well, hi friends. It is day 39, my last day on the PCT. And had a pretty exciting night last night with a story I'd like to tell. I got into a campsite at Mantor Creek, like I described in yesterday's video. It looked peaceful, looked like a nice place, had a creek running through it. And my friend Max showed up shortly afterwards. He's going to stay there too. So we set up our camps a little ways from each other. And a little while after, I hear Max yell for me. And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "A bear." So I grabbed the small can of pepper spray that I have, ran over to where Max is, and there's an adolescent bear basically staring him down from about 10 yards away, almost in his campsite. And the bear did not want to leave. Max had his trekking poles. He actually tapped the bear on the head one time and was yelling at it to get it to go. It wasn't having it. So I took the pepper spray. I sprayed him. He slowly turned and walked away and just kind of disappeared into the willow thickets along the creek. So we figured that was not going to be the end of that story, and it wasn't. A little while later, a smaller bear that looked sort of a yearling size comes into the camp. Was a little bit less bold, but he still was looking for whatever food he could find. And these bears obviously have been habituated by being in this campsite for quite a long time. This bear, Max, actually was taken surprised by it and ran after it with a big stick like a caveman. It was funny, but it was serious at the same time, and finally got the small bear to start to run in little bits. He would run a little bit, he'd stop and turn back, he'd run again, and so forth. So we formed a plan to bring the tents closer together and barricade the area, the entrance and exits to that little circle or opening with a bunch of dead willows that were there, just so we could hear the bears when they come in to try to get our food or whatever we've got. So we hung up the food in a tree that was probably 100 yards away, large tree, and went to sleep. And sure enough, we could hear the bears moving around, getting close, starting their mischief. And then we were pretty sure we heard the bear get our food, and finally decided that was the end of that. We couldn't stay there. The bears are basically just not going to leave us alone. So we got up, packed up our stuff, went over to the tree where the food is, and sure enough, one of the bears had climbed the tree, gotten out on the limb, and got the cord and pulled it in and ravaged Max's food bag. Took a couple of days worth of his food, but luckily we're both headed into Kennedy Meadows, so that was not a big deal. They didn't touch mine for whatever reason. And so we cleaned up the mess, started hiking at about 10 o'clock at night, hiked till about 11:30, I think, and got to a new spot, only 3.5 miles further down the trail, but away from those bears. So I do have a need to call BLM and let them know that that campsite, which is under their supervision, has got some problem bears. I'd never run into that before, where the bear just didn't want to leave when you threatened it, chased it, threw rocks at it, and so we were both surprised. Anyway, I'm now, as a result of that, I'm only 5 miles from Kennedy Meadows instead of the 8.5 that I was going to be. So, hope everybody has a good day. I'll report on any other crazy activity that happens on the way in, and otherwise, maybe it'll be just a nice, normal, peaceful rest of my hike. Okay, take care. Well, the trail here intersects the South Fork of the Kern River. And I think the trail will stay pretty much along the river until it reaches Kennedy Meadows. Very nice. Well, here it is, my last major milestone on the PCT, 700 miles. I have 2 more to go, and I'm looking forward to finishing it. Well, folks, here it is. I'm at mile 702, and this is where I leave the PCT for a short road walk into Kennedy Meadows. The end of a fantastic journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And yet I'm ready to be done. It was perfect timing for me to do this section, and really fulfilled a lot of things for me. Met some great people on the trail. I got time to just think, and you know, sometimes it's a challenge to be a little bit on the side of boredom, where you have to bring yourself back to the present and just look around and appreciate what you have around you. And I certainly appreciated everything I saw along the trail. It was just a fantastic journey. I guess on the downside, I didn't see a desert tortoise, and I just missed seeing a desert rosy boa by, well, just the distance between me and somebody behind me. So a little bummed about those two, but I'll keep searching and I'll find them one of these days. And you know, the bear encounter from last night certainly is still on my mind, but it was overall just a fantastic time. So I will check in with you once I get to Kennedy Meadows, because I'm really curious what it looks like and what it is like. And some of you may be also, if you're thinking about hiking the trail or just have an interest in what's here at this sort of landmark spot where it is considered to be the beginning of the Sierras, the end of the desert section. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, I'm here at the Kennedy Meadows General Store with Summit, whose folks have watched the videos, and I'm very honored about that. Felt like that's really fantastic. So we both have been hiking the first 700 miles. He's going on, I'm not, but I wish him the best. I hope you do great out there, and I'm sure it'll be a fantastic adventure. Yeah, just winding things down here and having a little bit of a celebration at the end. All right.
And we're going to be missing you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, guys, we'll see you down the trail. Hey, guys, I'm down here in Ridgecrest, California. Just left Kennedy Meadows just a short time ago. And just want to let you know that I'm going to do a sort of a wrap-up video with answers to some questions and comments and things like that might be helpful for some people who are thinking about hiking the trail or just interested in my hike and how that has gone. So stay tuned. I'll have one more episode. That's my plan. All right. Take care. See you down the trail.